or they'll ban away the Draw Ranger as their first in the 3-4.
Yeah, and they've have some footage of Secret running a Drow strat just recently in some of their matches, so want to make sure they put them on at least something a little bit different. Won't be seeing any Drow strats, but definitely expect Secret to pair up some kind of good physical carry with the Slider. Maybe that will be the Weaver, but there are other options if they want to run the Weaver in the off lane or a 4-position type role where they can pick up maybe not a Life Stealer again, because I think he's could potentially struggle once more, but even something like the PA is something that we've seen played quite a bit, sometimes by mid one, sometimes by MP. So bench band down another good physical damage core. It seems like that's really the target from Secret for the time being.
So they took away the Vengeful Spirit, which I think is to be expected when you have a Bat Rider, but also the synergy with all this physical damage minus armor. But what do you think about the Silencer that Secret have been running so much against a Wisp and Bat? Do you think that's an adequate pickup here to try and counter that strategy?
I think it works well when you've got like a clear initiate, which is, I guess in this case is the Slaughter. So if you're going to be fighting around the Slaughter blink initiations, having a silencer is great because it means you can instantly global silence. Like last game, if you have a global silence to follow up Slaughter's blink crush, a lot of Liquid's counterplay is just not obviously not available to them, and Liquid can't play at that fast tempo, or they have to fight around that global cooldown, which is probably the main issue. Is Liquid played at such a fast tempo? Do you want to be relying on a long cooldown like a global silence?
Yeah, I mean they don't have a whole lot of long cooldowns on the side of Liquid right now with just that Wisp. So there was a long cooldown pickup here for, say, Team Secret. They third picked it. Team Liquid could just go ahead and run a very fast lineup and base it all around lasso timings, which is not too long in the first place. 90 seconds at level 1.
The GH God Rubik comes back once again. Made a couple of really good blink crushes last game with some nice little steals there. So no surprises there with this pickup. And it does leave both Matu and Miracle's heroes for the end of their draft, so they can kind of at least get a little bit more info on what Secret's going to be doing before they decide on their final picks.
Any other cores that you can think of, gods, that... Well, there's the Disruptor against Bat Rider, but...
IO partners, I guess, is probably where I guess my main thoughts would go. I don't know if IO, like Liquid's not necessarily a team who's like, oh, we've got to have one of those obvious like dual combos like the IO Tiny or IO CK. They've done the Tiny a few times, but I feel like Liquid's a team who's more likely to run like a Shadow Fiend or something with an IO, like pick just like a typical farming frontline core and not run the IO like aggressively relocating with like a CK or something necessarily.
Right. I like that idea. I think the SF is the one downside is you don't know your mid matchup yet, but I think it is a nice, as we talked about, kind of all well-rounded hero.
Could save it for last as well if you want to protect your mid hero, pick a safe laner instead. Matu Hero's Necrophos is still in the pool. That's perhaps a consideration. Right now it's looking fairly physical damage, but it goes Luna. I think it's like this to me is like a similar idea to the SF where it's just that front line physical damage carry who can stand there and benefit from the IO save sitting behind her. And immediately Secret get the Darkseer, the dual lane down bottom with Slaughter. So this puts Weaver in the carry role and Darkseer Slaughter as like the 3-4 position heroes.
Yeah, you definitely need, if you're Team Liquid, right, because you're facing a Disruptor and a Weaver, there is a lot of potential for, if Secret can make you break, if they can stop your push, if they can make you, retreat from that team fight, there's a lot of opportunities for getting +1, +2, maybe even +3 pickoffs. So Team Liquid, I think, have to shore up that mid-game team fight and that pushing power as much as possible, and I think that's the similar line between the SF and the Luna. Team Secret are going to have very good laning phase with this Slaughter Darkseer, presumably. The Weaver is, as we talked about, a quite strong core against the Bat Rider. The Disruptor's not terrible either. So it looks like Team Secret are going to start off trying to get a laning phase win, and then if they can make Liquid just be behind and not able to actually win these team fights and not able to get these pushing power, then Team Secret are going to get more and more pickoffs with the Blink on Slaughter, with the Weaver, constant finding heroes, and even the Disruptor glimpses.
Yeah, this feels like a different style of game from Liquid. I don't think we'll be seeing that 17 to 20 minute, let's really take Roche, push high ground. I think they're going to be playing more towards the late game. With the IO in general looking to utilize the Bat Rider pickup potential as a big late game tool as well. So they also just have to soak up all that early game pressure. Like Secret's going to be coming at them with some of the stronger lanes you can really expect to see, and I don't think there's a whole lot they can do to match their lanes. So Sniper gets banned by Liquid, which perhaps tips off that Liquid were considering an SF, since Sniper's one of the better matchups to have against him, and then that SF does get banned.
You're facing up against Queen of Pain in the mid lane. You want to be able to have a team fighter, but also you probably don't want to have a solo core Luna. You go back for the Invoker, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Invoker seems like a pretty reliable late game oriented core that fits the Liquid draft, but it is Miracle. This guy pulls out some bizarre heroes, so similarly, maybe we'll see something wonky. Ember, oh, how do we forget him?
That's true. We
Yep.
It didn't really fit into Secret's lineup ever, so we weren't talking about the mid one Ember Spirit, but instead Miracle Ember Spirit for Team Liquid. Good against the Queen of Pain. Has some concerns though when it comes to Disruptor, as well as potentially the quick initiation of the Slardar. If Secret can actually get a laning phase win and turn this into maybe an early Orchid Queen of Pain, Ember Spirit could have a bad time.
Yeah, I think the downsides of this Secret lineup, which maybe Liquid can kind of at least have some size of leaf, is that there isn't great pushing power. So while they have got this scary laning stage and this scary mid-game timing around the Slardar Blink, they don't necessarily turn pickoffs or kills into early objectives, which is where Liquid should at least be able to maintain decent control of their side of the map. If Luna can at least get some decent farm, get like a Helm of the Dominator going, we should be able to see Liquid play like a more farming efficient game. For Secret, it's going to be trying to find a way to make sure you can get those towers. If you can take early objectives as well as get those kills, you're going to be in a very advantageous position.
Really push out and wards. So Mind Control is actually going to block the hard camp and get the... this is a rather common ward, which may still be countered just because of its nice vision of the bounty rune and potential rotations. Disruptor's not going to be needed in lane all the time. That is the one advantage of having a Weaver against a Bat Rider. So he is going to be most likely spending a little bit more time pulling. And who knows, maybe he may try and even gank up the mid lane pre-level 6. All important, trying to keep that Ember Spirit down before he gets his remnants. But he is going to have a lot of backup, right? You've got GH on the Wisp, who's going to be able to help the laning phase offense that is coming out from Secret, help give them, on the side of Liquid, a little bit more sustain to deal with it.
Yeah, mid lane rotations, perhaps Puppy's will be the one who could theoretically look for that around like his level 3, smoke up and go try and catch him by surprise if you've got like a level 5 Queen of Pain, but Disruptor is likely going to be kept busy by this Bat Rider because Bat has a lot of regen, very laning oriented items, and he's going to be looking to contest the lane for the time being. No one going for any aggressive bounty rune plays. It looks like we will just be seeing a pretty standard setup from both teams.
Both supports trying to block out the mid lane to give Midwan the best opportunity. If he can get the creep wave on his side of the hill against a melee hero, he can really abuse that Shadow Strike. So, like that little bit of a bump, both supports are going to smoke up now and join Kezu in the bottom lane. See if they can get a quick kill and claim the first blood for Kezu and also get him level 2, which is also quite important, particularly against a Luna lane.
GH not here. He's walking back to pick up his bottle or something. I imagine this could be disaster for Liquid's tri lane to start things off.
This lovely path does go all the way down and around, but they just pinged it on the side of Liquid. Bat Rider maybe gave the info that there's nobody here at the top lane, so...
You also expect if Slider's going to be bomb with Darkseer, you don't expect him to necessarily be hidden. And similarly with the Disruptor, you expect him to be showing top and trying to zone mind control, so it's definitely unconventional to have both supports missing, and I feel like we're at that point where teams have seen this level 1, both supports hiding in the trees enough that they're somewhat wizened up to it.
Yeah.
With that said, they are still there and hoping for something to turn up.
You know, if they're really clever gods, the first wave should give you level 2 on Darkseer. That didn't happen because he had his split experience with the support sitting on the side here. So they may have also noticed that little factor as well.
Yep,
so Matu just going to be farming the neutral, staying away from this spot, and Puppy and Bylai Die are still there. They're still waiting for their opportunity. I'm not sure if Liquid's going to give it to them ever.
This is starting to become a lot of wasted time for them. At this point, it should be very apparent that these heroes are going for some kind of shenanigans. Miracle's playing up the lane, so he's basically accepted his fate. Like, if they smoke gank him, he's just saying, all right, I'm dead. Like, there's no escape for him if he's getting smoke wrapped on, but it seems they were well aware that they were in this bottom lane because Slardar has now left the lane, going for the bounty room, which isn't even there, and will have to back off to his own bounty room, potentially, if he wants to catch up on some experience and farm.
Mid one trying to finish him off. He does have a fresh Shadow Strike, and here comes the Wisp, the turnaround, the tether. We've seen it before, and that'll be first blood for Miracle instead.
Yeah, went for the early sleight of fist value point to try dodge Shadow Strike, although it looked like he'd been hit by it regardless, so potentially missed time. Didn't see what happened there, but the turnaround does happen, and that is a lane you're meant to win as queen, and one overextension, suddenly it's going slightly the Ember's way.
Pilot Eye and Puppy, what you up to, buddies? They're kind of sitting around in this jungle area, hanging about. Looks like Disruptor is going to try and, well, with the Slardar illusion, push back the Wisp from being able to stack this camp.
At this point, Matu's actually the top CSer. He's had 3 heroes down in his lane for like the entire first 3 minutes, yet is still top CS. Obviously, those heroes were hiding and hoping for a kill, but that is a bit worrying.
Oh, mid one, you gonna jump for it? Nah, he decides against it. He might be able to kill GH, but he'd very likely die to Miracle as a return, so that's not worth it. They wait for a separation, get a Thunderstrike onto GH. He's so low, but the bottle will keep him alive. Pylai Die just sticks around in lane and right-clicks Miracle for the
sharing
extra
bottle
bit of
charges
damage.
now. Yeah, Miracle's bottling up GH. Puppy's trying to come in from behind, but constant bottles. Miracle doesn't have his searing chains anymore, and he's actually in
Sleight
trouble.
of fist! What a dodge from Miracle! Puppy misses the crush that was necessary for them to be able to stop this pursuit. Now Miracle might be able to get it. Chains, high ground, Wisp balls, they got him. Puppy dies.
I love that buyback too from GH. He knows he can come back in with bottle charges to turn this one around. Mid one, you got to be careful, my friend. Luckily gets the arcane rune. That saves his life. That was an insane play from him. I don't know about that, but the fast fingers at least get him the rune, and he gets out of there okay.
Playing some high-risk, high-reward mid plays right now between these two teams. Very aggressive in each other's face, but it is coming out to the favor of Liquid so far, 2-1, thanks to in large part Miracle surviving with that sleight of fist play. Top lane, we haven't talked about it too much. MP versus Mind Control. We said Weaver can deal with this 1v1 better than most other heroes, and we see the resulting CS 25-4 compared to the 15-1 of the Batrider.
There's nothing Bat can do to Zona Weaver. Like, he gets Magic Wand, and you've got to use Napalm because otherwise you're not really able to farm in this lane as a Bat outside of Fire flying down lane. So you basically accept the fact you're going to give Weaver a permanent 17-1 charges, but the result is at least Mind Control getting some alright farm himself. Has 17, 18 CS in this lane, so I think both sides getting what they want out of this lane for the time being.
Yeah, Kazu's working towards. He does actually pick up early boots here, so we won't have the immediate mech. Gets the Soul Ring boots. Level 6 finally picked up our Amber Spirit mid, so Miracle won't need that helping hand from GH as much anymore, which is why he's top lane, trying to instead give the assistance to Mind Control.
Hope he's going to try to bring some wards top. I believe they're kind of fed up with Mind Control getting all this free XP and farm, and they want to contest it. Dire Scan will spot Mind Control walking back through, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to find this kill. He's now got Flaming Lasso as well, so rotation potential is there for the Batrider. But it seems for now he's happy just to keep farming it up in his jungle, look for that fast blink dagger.
You know, I have praised Secret multiple times for Puppy and his rotations. Nice chains from Miracle, but unfortunately that will not grant him the 6-minute rune. It's bottom instead.
Double damage as well, which is not going to be able to get bottled up for now by mid one. He's bottled back on the courier.
You know, Puppy always finds a way. You know, his rotations in the laning phase, I think, are very often a key to success for Secret, and Liquid have completely shut him and the Disruptor out this game.
Yeah, I feel like Puppy has been in some ways the early game MVP for Secret in all their games so far. He's been able to get so much done with early pickoffs for him and his team, and this is the first game the first series where it feels like a team has figured him out, like watched his movements, figured out where he likes to play, and just made all the right reads, because Puppey has been completely neutered, and we have not seen any success out of him. He's fairly low level now as a result. He's really only had some bounty runes here and there to kind of pick up his farm and experience growth. And over on the Radiant side, like the IO's got more than him. GH is level 4.5 and working on a decent bit of CS as well. So this is concerning for Secret. This Slardar is currently not looking like he's going to have a particularly well-timed Blink Dagger.
Helmet Dominator picked up by the Luna. I was checking for Satyr camps. So when he does pick up that Helmet Dom from the Courier, see if he can grab that Purge Creep, much like we saw from the Necrophos in our first series.
Yep. There's one not too far away from him if he wants to go venturing out there. Level 7 now with an Eclipse, so yeah, he's holding onto a TP ready to rotate. May see a smoke rotation early with him. The problem is against the Darkseer, it becomes very obvious if you rotate off the lane, because the lane's always pushing with Iron Shell, so you can't go missing too long. Matu checks a couple of camps, doesn't find a Satyr, and he actually scouts it with the... Oh, the crew was heading mid anyways, but if he was... I thought for a second he was using that to scout, but he may have seen the Satyrs there if he wants it.
Is Matu trying to get a kill here? He's got the Eclipse sitting high ground. He's going to pop it here. One of the Eclipses does hit the bird, but it doesn't matter. He's got enough to be able to finish off the Darkseer. That came as complete surprise to Kezu.
Oh man, he was going for the bird as well, Cap. That's the efficiency play.
Yeah, that's what it is. Matu, maximum farm, baby.
Yeah. Nice use of the Eclipse. Often you see a rotation, but getting a solo kill on a fairly farmed Darkseer at this point is well worth it, and just means he's going to now spend the next couple minutes farming more so than rotating with his team.
Even better, gods. That camp is now going to have a fresh wave at 9 minutes. Better chance for the Satyr.
Anything else you think he'd consider other than a Satyr at this point? Like if he found, like, all right, I'll take that instead, like a Centaur or a Frost Mage or anything?
Maybe I mean, it's possible, like the Hellbear Smasher. I think it's the highest damage dealing nuke besides because the problem is the Satyr. You want either one of the Satyrs, right? Because it would also be the big Satyr that would also nuke down waves pretty nicely. But maybe that Hellbear. It's tanky and it also does a good amount of damage with its clap. So maybe that's another way.
Alcoholic Kobold Foreman them.
All right, I always like to see that. That movement speed is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty nice when you get it early on. Can be a big difference maker. So right now it feels like not a whole lot happening in this lane stage, which is mid lane. Miracle gets big aggressive, but that's good news for Liquid. Like I feel like their lineup is the one that wants to have a fairly quiet laning stage if possible. No kills for the Darkseer Slardar duo. Queen of Pain not dominating her lane. A quiet laning stage is a good one for Liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. Matu's farming away. Miracle is... It's actually going to pick up the treads before early Veil of Discord, but his timing... All these timings for the cores, right, are more around 15 minutes. Especially the Bat Rider, who will actually have that Blink Dagger before 15, as it looks like that Glimpse is not going to be effective enough, but maybe the Kinetic Field holding him in. He is over the cliff here, but he's got bugs on him. They are going to have to relocate in. They're going to be able to catch Pylai Die. GH with a level 6 before 10 minutes, maybe catches Secret by surprise.
Yeah, that was a good relocate. Like you said, very early level 6 on the IO being the big thing there. Luna even TPing in to shore up that rotation as well. Leaves Kuro down bottom to get a bit of farm, get some levels himself, get his own level 6, and he gets given the trust of the Kobold to help assist him down there. But top lane, back comes Team Secret, but this just doesn't feel like they can do a whole lot to Matu. He's tanky enough, he has some good early farm and can't really be dealt with all too easily. This is dangerous now. We're entering the stage of the game where Mind Control is going to have a very early blink, and as far as Secret's blink go, the Slardar, it's a long ways off, so this game, at least as far as initiation advantage goes, is going to heavily favor Liquid. Now they're at a stage where they can use their... Because that's all Miracle really wants, is a teammate who can initiate for him so he can follow it up, dump all his damage in, and I imagine we'll see Liquid start getting very aggressive in the next 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh, that's an early Static Storm, but he's not quite close enough. Maybe he didn't feel comfortable laying it down. But
yeah, I think if Puppey timed the crush perfectly, he would have followed it up on the crush, but without a crush, it was a bit challenging.
Well, Secret, thanks in part to the Tome, they do have that critical level 6. That was part of the problem, right? Once that laning phase, the first couple of rotations don't work out for Puppey and Pi. Then you have a low level. Oh god, mid one runs right into it. Eclipse with the midi stun of the Moonbeam itself, the Lucent Beam use. He manages to quickly execute the Queen of Pain. What a big pickup from Matu.
And Mind Control farmed an Ancient stack. I realize you can do damage to Ancients now, but I did not ever really consider, like, oh, Batrider, Ancient stack. Sure, he got like 8 or 9 Napalm stacks and took out a nice little stack of Ancients there. So he's now got his Blink Dagger and some on top of that. Hits level 10, so this Batrider going to be a scary force at this stage of the game. All 3 Liquid cores have good farm and have hit the timings they want for their item pickups, so dangerous times for Secret, who, if this was like a passive lane stage where they were at least like playing a farming efficiency game where like Puppey was level 6, close to his Blink Dagger, you'd be like, all right, they're going to get like a 13, 14 minute blink, but Puppey's only not even halfway to his Blink Dagger.
Is there something about the Disruptor that makes the Blink Dagger more important for the Ember Spirit? Because he's not going Veil. And I was trying to figure out, is it because Mind Control is going to go Veil? Because Veil's mega value. It's not just Ember, but it's Batrider as well.
I mean, it does give you that ability to just blink on top of Disruptor, blow him up, but typically, yeah, I'm totally as confounded as you are by this one, where I guess you're just so used to seeing the cookie cutter build that you just don't expect something a bit different, and this blink in some ways allows you to be more aggressive, because you can just constantly blink Searing Chains in and have the remnants to escape.
Sticky Napalm, they do have the relocate coming in from GH and Miracle. They throw the first little bit of nuke. Static Storm catches some, but the kinetic field's going to be stopped. Kuro managed to get the telekinesis and a good crush following that up, but now they actually managed to get a really good Sonic Wave that hits multiple heroes, but it just doesn't seem to be enough for Secret to fully win the fight. Maybe with a relocate back, though, they can kill Matu. No, he gets a TP away as well. So they trade 1 for 2 unless they can get Mind Control. Yeah, he's dead. So that'll be 2 for 2. GH, don't make it 2 for 3, or maybe 3 for 3. Almost gets Puppey. The balls, it's not good enough. All right, 2 for 3 in the end, to the favor of Secret.
Yeah, a really good job bursting down Miracle there. He was in a very dangerous position to just destroy that fight with a haste room, but that one Slider Crush was all they needed to throw all the damage they had on him, including the Sonic Wave. And if they don't burst down Miracle there, he's able to like come in and out of the fight, perhaps bottle up, use his wand, and get multiple Searing Chains off. Even a 200 HP Ember who's still alive can have an impact on the fight because of that haste room mobility. So very good defensively played team fight by Secret. For Liquid, didn't get a chance to get any Eclipse off. I think it was still on cooldown from the previous one, and that was a big missing factor for them. But the biggest thing was they missed the initiation. Batrider didn't get that clean blink lasso off. They relocated in almost expecting that lasso to have gone off, but he just slightly misplaced it, and end result is Team Secret win their first clash of the game.
The Tier 1 tower is going to fall as a result. Attempted to deny here from mid 1. Doesn't catch it. Miracle still sitting with his invis, trying to find that pick off. They're going to find it on MP. There goes the lasso. They're going to follow up with the chains, but MP does get off the time lapse. They threw down the ultimate there from Matu as well, just to try and get that burst damage necessary to kill MP. But they didn't really have the controlling abilities. Telekinesis wasn't there. Speaking of telekinesis, Kuro's going to be pulled back. Nice vacuum turnaround there with the telekinesis. Does a decent amount of control and damage, but nothing Liquid want to fight into.
Yeah, they fumbled that one on MP. They threw an Eclipse. They threw the triple Fire Remnant. They really went all out to try to get that kill, but they needed the full-up Disable more than they needed those spells to be used. Kuro was just out of range with his rotation in for a telekinesis, doesn't have the gap closing capabilities of an Ember or a Batrider, so they couldn't quite follow it up, and slightly misjudged, as Liquid will have to go back to the drawing board, wait for some of those cooldowns to come back up. A good sequence of plays gives Team Secret a nice little second wind here, as MP is proven to be very effective on the Weaver. This has given Puppey room to try and finish off his Blink Dagger now, up to 2k gold. He's just a camp or 2 away from finishing this off.
Yeah, that is going to be a big difference for Secret, because this whole entire time they've been operating without any really hard initiation. They've just been responding to Liquid's aggression, but now they can finally retain control. Miracle did change up his build. He's going to go for Lincoln's now. Instead, to help deal with that glimpse. I think I might be totally wrong here, Guts, but I think you can actually blink as you get glimpse back into the Static Storm. I think there's like a quarter of a second where you can blink before the damage ticks on you. Maybe that was the idea of Miracle, as well as the offensive abilities. Vacuum back into the wall. Mid one will have, thanks in part to the Arcane Root, the opportunity to blink again. 7-5, nothing to be found in mid yet.
Yeah, they get the tower top, but
comes back. Kinetic field, not going to be able to trap Curl. He'll run to the safety of Matu.
I think Liquid just happy to perhaps play around more the farming game now. Matu's continue to accelerate his own item progression, and Weaver is not really the biggest threat to a Luna in the late game, so this feels like a pretty good lane game for Matu just to out-farm everyone and not really be contested too much in the late game. Does have to worry a bit of the Darkseid wall since those illusions will hurt him and his team, but outside of that, it does feel like this is a game where Luna's scale better than most of the other cores around. Puppey with his blink.
Miracle stuck inside the Static Storm. Secret Bull a lot to make sure that Ember Spirit does die, but they know, especially mid one, quite familiar with the way that hero can snowball. Well worth the kill. They're going to be able to find more too. GH gets caught on the side of the trees. Good blink in from Puppey, finds him. And Liquid seem to now struggle against Secret. They were doing fine the laning phase, but now as we start getting into the second phase where Blink Dagger is up on Puppey, things are beginning to turn. See, was that Yasha almost finished up? We're working towards Manta on MP, so not the early Diffuse Blade, not the early Desolator either. That Manta is a nice quick reaction spell. We've seen Lincolns usually being picked up against the Batrider, but it seems MP feels comfortable going for the quick Manta usage. Oh, never mind. There's Lincolns. What the hell? Who was I clicked on? Was I clicked on the right hero? Jesus, all right, maybe it was. I don't know what that was.
It's early.
Zed, what is Zed?
Zed, that's random team name from WESG qualifiers.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so what are things looking like now? So as it stands, Luna's still top of the net worth, but I think Secret are going to be continuing to look for fights. They've got this Blink Dagger up. They've got Smoke ready to go as well. Perhaps they wait for MP to finish his Lincoln Sphere, but I feel like if you're the aggressors, you're the one getting to jump that Lincoln isn't necessarily the biggest deal. You shouldn't have to wait around for it. They'd love to win a fight, get a pick off, and then try and use this Slatter Weaver to take an early Roshan.
I've also got the Blink Dagger coming in on Darkseer. With that combination, if they can get it, vacuum into Blink Crush from Puppey, that might be worth waiting for as well.
Yeah. Mid one gets a Yule Scepter for himself, so he's got a nice setup, also a nice defensive tool if he blinks in aggressively and there's like an Eclipse or a Searing Chains on him and he just needs to buy himself some time for that blink to come back up. So it does feel like Secret are just about ready to go. And there's the 4-man smoke. They show mid one mid, making it a little bit less obvious what is going on. And we'll see if this loop around. They'll be bypassing Observer Ward, so this could catch Liquid by surprise.
A little bit of subterfuge from Secret. Wrap it around from the side here. Trying to make their long way into this mid lane. Kuro and GH are positioned accordingly, though.
They have scanned it, too. They have a pretty good idea of where Liquid are, but they also know that they haven't got the best approach onto this one. Matu in the front is very tanky here. He's got 900 HP, but doesn't quite get on top of them. Now he will.
Yeah, he has that nighttime vision. Secret's been spotted. They're going to glimpse back, thanks to the ward. Send back the Batrider. And Secret now away from that ward. Still holding their 5-man group here, but Liquid are not going to push into them. A bit too dangerous there. As a whole, Liquid have dodged the threat quite nicely and can return to farming, right? They don't need to try and force a fight.
Oh yeah, again, to go back to the draft, this is where Secret don't really shine. It's being able to push. They can't just say, okay, our smoke failed, but now we have 5 heroes bot. Typically, you go for that, you know you're the team who's like in a slightly better position, ready to fight now, which is kind of Secret with the Lincolns on Weaver and the Blink initiation. If you 5-man smoke to the enemy side of the map, you don't find a kill, you take the tower, but their draft doesn't push in timely fashion. They'd be giving up probably Roshan if they go for that bottom lane. So at this stage, pushing the bottom side of the map is not really worth it for Secret because of that Roche trade or even just trading for farm elsewhere on the map. It's going to be a losing exchange for them.
There's the blink for the Darkseer. Miracle is so close to his Lincolns, too.
Seen early gem pickup by Kuro. Definitely one of the players and captains who really likes to prioritize getting a gem earlier than other teams, but we'll see what he can make from this one.
Gonna keep their tier 1 alive. You want to be able to defend that one. Secret just kind of poke at it. Now rotating top, mid 1. Maybe hoping to be able to set up some sort of Yule's Scepter play with the Static Storm, but Miracle, rather, excuse me, is playing it safe. And you know, why wouldn't he? Honestly, Liquid's getting all the farm they need right now. Matu is able to make the most out of the jungle more than any other hero in this game, so... and he's finishing up that Manta, which will allow him to push down lanes, again, with very little commitment from Liquid. And that's one of the beauties of Ember and Luna on the same team. Ember pushes out these lanes with, you know, very little to fear for the most part, thanks to Remnant. And Luna, with a wisp behind him, could do something similar with just the illusions or just the hero with the relocate out.
Yeah. The Lincoln still does not protect him against that Slider Disruptor duo. Like the Blink Crush and the Static Storm will still be able to take Miracle down when he's split pushing, so
true.
We'll still have to play fairly cautiously around this item pickup, but it does make it a bit harder for Secret to engage on him. We'll definitely deter Quap from going for any kind of awkward build, and it looks like Quap is thinking Lincolns as well. Try and take the Batrider out of the game. If you get Lincolns on 2 out of these 3 cores, Darkseer I doubt will get one as well, but just having the double Lincolns on the 2 main carries for Secret make it very difficult for the Batrider to engage. That isn't really the best way of breaking those Lincolns. Like Matu on the front lines with a Lucent Beam, but they haven't got the best access to it.
Blink Crush, Lincoln's broken as well. The Static Storm holding in Miracle. He can't make it out of here. Liquid will leave him to die. Maybe, with an opening like that, Secret can take that mid-tier 1 finally.
Yeah, the Roche is the other objective they'd like to go for, perhaps, but this mid-tier 1 is, like, I don't know if you're going to get a better chance to take it. Puppy still Shikuchi, which is annoying, and Puppy's in a pretty good position here if he doesn't get caught out and blown up to start things off, and that seems to be Mind Control's idea. Take out the opposing team's initiator if possible. MP's got a Lincolns. If you can get a Slider or something, or perhaps a Queen of Pain.
Mid 1. He gets a little bit too far forward. They try and give him the Lincolns, but it's not going to stop that AoE damage, but a nice Vacuum Crush. Turn things around. Maybe the relocate out. GH does manage to save Kuro's life there. Matu is going to be chased down by MP, attempting to go for the kill before the time lapse, but it's not good enough. The physical damage isn't there. Kuro can't finish off Puppy. A glimpse backwards again now. GH returns from when he originally started here with Mind Control in tow. They're going to try and chase MP.
That's back.
He still has the blink forward and the gem. Flame break.
It's going to do a lot of damage. Is that going to kill him? The 1 charges are there. That's one more tick. 20 HP.
Wow. If any
Blink
of the
forward.
Spirit Balls.
Yeah. That 1 charge just saved his life there. Dang.
Yeah.
Nice attempt from Mind Control and a great team fight from Liquid, punishing mid-one's positioning there. He went in way too aggressively there, perhaps just thinking because they'd killed the Ember Spirit, there's no way that Liquid's going to defend it. But when you get gifted a kill like that, you sure as hell will fight into that one. The big thing there is Matu make sure he gets the Eclipse off before the counter initiation comes. The second the last is off, he's using that Eclipse because he knows Darkseer Slider are going to be using that Vacuum Crush combo to try and counter initiate to keep the Queen of Pain alive. So very quick burst damage coming out from Liquid, punishing mid 1.
Mid 1's trying to work on a Lincolns of his own, but the Yule's Scepter that he picked up did not serve to help him. Non-engagement. 9-9, 25 minutes in. Liquid are beginning to bounce back with this farming time in that team fight. Small experience and gold lead for now. The bigger danger is we've talked about the lack of pushing power from Team Secret. They aren't managing to make these team fights work, which means they don't hold a whole lot of map control like they would want to at this point with a very early mid-game aggressive lineup like this. They wanted to be able to take that tier 1 tower, and it's still quite healthy for Liquid to play around. Yeah,
and not being able to take Roshan is probably something also that they were hoping for with this draft of theirs. And yeah, tier 1 tower standing, Roche untouched 26 minutes in with a Slider Weaver. Things have not gone according to plan for Secret, but they also haven't gone disastrously either. They've managed to at least be in the more dominant force in the mid-game, but will that remain the case? Mid 1 is being hunted down here.
Oh, he doesn't get off the Yule's Scepter on himself, so Mind Control can get the lasso first. Miracle, he's going to jump for more. Piladai's going to have to send him back with a glimpse. No, he actually just goes for the Static Storm, giving up his life for it, but maybe his team can punish, but the relocate out is there. Now Matu actually pops the Eclipse as MP poked his head out, tried to hit on Curl a little bit, but Matu says, no. That's my support.
Very problematic fight to lose for Secret because Liquid's now in position at the high ground to take the tier 2 tower. They probably don't have enough time to threaten high ground. They may fall back to go for Roche, although they haven't got the best damage to kill it. But with 30 seconds on Queen of Pain, 20 on the Disruptor Slider, there may be just enough time for them to get Roche if they're fast. We'll see what Liquid think about it. For now, they are just lingering around this area of the map. And yeah, those respawn time is getting shorter and shorter, but they are going to start getting into the pit to go for it.
There's no denying that Liquid are making the right kind of reads and rotations and stuff like that, but it does seem like Midwan is having a bit of an off game where we've been reliably watching him dominate games for Secret and be whether it's a big tempo controller or a late game carry for them. But here he is struggling on the Queen of Pain to have a heavier impact than what he's been able to accomplish so far. 16,000 net worth on Matu right now.
It's huge. Nice remnant dodge from Miracle. Gets away from the Blink Crush. He had his Lincolns down as well, so that was a dangerous timing. And Miracle is just zoning them while the team go for Roshan. He's just positioning himself very aggressive, using the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, and he creates the space for Matu to finish off Roshan. And that's now a level 20 Luna with an Aegis BKB ready to start pushing down all these outer towers. Midone does finally manage to complete his Lincoln Sphere, but it's at a timing where you don't want to fight. I feel like if he had not had those couple of deaths in a row, he would have had this Lincolns 2 or 3 minutes ago when Secret was strong, and potentially that first fight goes Secret's way because of a Lincolns, and then it's them getting Roshan and them getting a couple of towers. So those two pickers on mid one, you mentioned he's not having the best game. They're really, really hurtful for Secret's overall game plan here, losing him like that.
4-man smoke up into the dire jungle while Miracle is pushing out bottom, but pushing it out in a very safe area, hiding in the trees. You got to jump back to mid lane. MP shows himself. Maybe Liquid feels like they need Ember Spirit for this push, but Matumba Man's just going to be able to take it. And they're going to keep going here with this Aegis. Very early high ground push. I expected it last game because it seemed like they were in such a dominant position. They might as well. But here, threatening high ground with this Aegis comes a little faster than I expected.
Puppy, lucky not to get caught there. A fishing Sleight of Fist happened to hit him there, and he did not have buyback. If he went down, that would have been the initiation gone. But the slow, steady tier 3 tower going down. Once his tower's gone, the Rax is almost inevitably will fall because of the bouncing glaives, and that looks like exactly where we're headed. This is looking more and more difficult to engage into.
Mind Control tries to counter the initiation from Puppy, but maybe it's better he didn't. Miracle needs the help. They get a GH relocated out just in time. And as you said, Gods, that 10% HP Ember Spirit can still do a lot for them. So Miracle, he may be out, he may be low, 700 HP right now, but he can still have a large impact.
Yeah, GH is low enough that they can just perhaps share some of that regen. He's also got the urn charges.
Puppy gets caught before he can initiate. He's knocked in by the Searing Chains. Is MP going to be able to catch GH God before the time lapse? Oh, Curl! He force-staffed in, managed to get a cut, but what a vacuum from Kezu. It doesn't save MP, though. MP couldn't get off the ability. They do have the bouncing Luna Glaive that's going to do a lot, finishing off the 2 supports, almost killing Miracle as well. Lincolns for Lincolns, a glimpse back, but nothing there to be able to catch Miracle. Now, here comes Matumba Man, the highest net worth hero. There are a lot of heroes who are close to dying, but Matumba Man never was. Still has that Aegis to work with. Kezu and the rest of Secret were trying to focus on the back lines, but now they have to deal with Matumba Man. He is manning up, giving up his Aegis to be able to finish this one off, and maybe even kill Midone as well. The Gold Scepter saves his life. He blinks backwards. There goes that Aegis, but Elena Rax by 30.
Yeah, if they could kill Macho in the retreat, it'd maybe be in somewhat acceptable position here for them, but even killing Matu looks very difficult. His BKB is about to come back up.
Relocate back in GH. They're going to fight this one out with Matumba Man deep inside with a glimpse back, but now he is stopping Secret from retreating. If they want to get back to base, they have to go through him. We saw Kezu die because of that one. Puppy being delayed up by Mind Control gets in front of him with the Firefly, and will take that kill as well. You got to understand, Secret, they did what they had to do, right? You said They needed to be able to kill Matumba Man just to be able to make that a somewhat acceptable position, so they went for that aggressive play, but Liquid, they had the recourse. Maybe they could still catch Miracle. Mid1 is desperate to try and get any sort of kills here. Maybe with the Static Storm they can. Miracle locked in. They've got the damage to be able to finish him off. There it is, but a stolen Static Storm actually laid out. Mid1, he can't immediately blink away. Now tries to get out. Yule Scepter onto the Bat Rider, but he is slowed down by the sticky Napalm. An offensive Yule slows down Mid1 even more, but they can't get anything off before the blink goes down. So Matumba Man's just going to use that space to backdoor the tier 1 tower and push a creep wave as well.
Courier went down. Was that Butterfly or something from the Luna?
Where did it go? Oh man, it was deep inside that secret shop area. But yeah, that was Butterfly. Matumba Man could kind of use it right now because MP is threatening him with the Corrosive Haze. He pops the BKB, taking off that minus armor. MP's taking a lot of this one, but he can't output enough damage. Now caught in after the time lapse into the lasso. Liquid, time and time again, they seem to have the counter to Secret's aggression. Secret are playing so into Liquid because they know they have to. They need to make a fight work for them with this kind of lineup, but it's just not happening.
The IO picks worked out so well. Like Matu, when they tried to catch Matu on the retreat after losing the melee racks, it felt like a favorable situation. Secret were respawning. They had a numbers advantage, but the IO respawn brings in the +1, and suddenly it's actually a 5v5. It's no longer that 5v3 that you thought you had, and that's where Liquid are just able to constantly sustain their numbers and make sure they protect their cores very well. GH has been very impressive, as have the other utility support heroes in Mind Control and Kuro. Matu, and even Miracle. Miracle just feels like the distraction in a lot of these fights where they're focusing so much on trying to kill the Ember. Matu's just gone unnoticed this entire game.
Second lane of Rack, Secret. They had to be the ones in control by 30 minutes, but it is quite the opposite. Liquid have a very dominant lead, gonna smoke up and maybe deal the finishing blow with this 5-man. They can go straight through mid or bottom with these tier 3 tower gone.
Love to find a pick off here. Puppy Slider poking his nose out.
Puppy gonna be caught by the lasso, pulled back to his doom.
He's been put down. Well, that possibly signals the end as they make a beeline towards this top lane. They don't need an Aegis. They don't need the Butterfly. By the time that Kuro comes back, he'll probably have a Skadi to go with the Butterfly, but ultimately Matu, he's basically like a 15k net worth Luna right now with all the items on the courier and his money stocked up, but that's more than enough for Liquid to push in this top lane potentially.
They're smoked up, trying to hide their positioning in the back lines. Pylai knows his Static Storm really is the only way to be able to save this if they can get the right vacuum, blink in, follow that up with Crush, Kinetic Field, Static Storm. Everything could go their way.
Kuro, though. Kuro still has it stolen.
Oh, that's kind of nasty.
Very difficult for Mid-1 or MP to deal with. They've got Lincolns, but they do not have a way out of the silence.
And it's not like you're going to be able to tell either. If they go ahead and vacuum and disrupt their Static Storms, and then Rubik puts it in there, Puppy might just jump into his own Static Storm thinking, all right, I'm going to follow this up with a Crush, and then find himself silenced.
Speaking of silences, Miracle's opted for the Orchid build. Very unconventional build out of him, but going for something a little bit different. Great as far as controlling and locking down the Queen of Pain or the Weaver. Just have to find a way to break their Lincolns first, and Shrines will drop now. Perhaps just considering next Roshan as the game ender, or just waiting their time, seeing if they can find another pickoff, because they're smoking up, they're drawing lines on this top lane. I think they know 4x advantage. Luna as farmed as she is. Butterfly finally about to arrive. They'll be ready to go soon.
Mind Control. Can he find the pickoff to end the game? Yeah, they're going to take that ward. MP will be the one to kill it because he's got that Lincolns. He's got the mobility. Still have to be careful, though. Mind Control can easily go up the north side. The smoke fails. They are going to go for mid-1. They actually managed to pop that Lincolns and will bring him down inside the Eclipse. Ketsu is also quite low. Couldn't get off anything. Now Orchid it up. He doesn't get off the vacuum on top of the wall. MP tries to move forward. The gem is on the ground, but No one from Secret dares to pick it up. Miracle just dives right in, gets to the back line, chains 2 up, immediately gets a good sleight of fist, and now Matumba Man will make short work of Puppy, the bouncing glaze, threatening MP's life as well. He activates the Shrine, but it's over for Secret. Liquid 2-0. Just like that, we said this could be the closer of the 2 series, but it couldn't be farther from the truth. Liquid very clearly one step above Secret in this series.
Yeah, very wrong in my assessment of this series coming in. Liquid, I mean, they 2-0'd Secret last time. Secret have definitely been playing better since that series, but Liquid themselves elevating their game to another level. Just great spell usage that last fight, silencing the Darkseer while they blinked in and lassoed the Queen of Pain. They just fought around the Lincoln Spheres very well. Often you see teams struggle to continue to find those initiations with Batrider when those Lincoln Spheres come up, but they have this Luna on the front lines who's just hitting the buildings, just using Lucent Beam to break them, and the second they're broken, Batrider finds his openings to go in. So really well played by Liquid. Them and Bears, that is going to be quite a series, because
yeah,
I feel like Liquid are maybe, in my mind, a little bit favored. I mean, it's still hard to know. I mean, Bears are undefeated. They haven't been truly tested yet, perhaps, but this is going to be like the first like real big test for them versus Liquid.
And that will all be happening tomorrow, starting at 15.